This is a reaction I got from the Daily Wrap Up crew. There's a really good channel. They're another dealing with dating show with man and woman coming together. Breaking the trying to break the some of those bad stereotypes and all that stuff, so we could get back into the whole union and making families one again. So in this show, I haven't really watched the show, so what you guys seen is what I'm seeing. I'm gonna run my opinions, you know, um, in the video, and basically just share my thoughts on it and see if they're gonna align with me or whatever. All right, let's go.
Next one, yeah.
Coming of age, I was, and I didn't have a man in my life, a father in my life to guide me through that. My mom did that, which probably made me.
If you guys don't know, this is damn, I forgot his name. The guy from Will I Am. Oh, I guess from the group. Yeah, he's a singer,
Been
pop singer.
ultra feminine, which is I have no shame of being super feminine. I remember in the '90s, we don't have the support in the LGBT community like now than we did then. So growing up in the '90s, we're like, "Are you gay?" Like a lot of people question if because I was feminine. I'm still feminine. I sit the way I sit. I act the way I act. My mannerisms are my mom's, but it was a very and I'm strong with my femininity. I think it's a superpower. But that and when you know who you are, when you love who you are, how you vibe, that's what it's about. I like girls. Never was attracted to men. I'm attracted to females, but I'm feminine.
And niggas say ultra feminine.
So before they go, he do have a point. I don't think he's part of the LGBT, but based on his flamboyant behavior, they might classify him as a LGBT group. But I don't think he classified himself as that. But there's men out here that do have flamboyant, feminine behavior, and back in the day, I never really, it was a question, but you never really thought of it in a negative, in a way that, the guy is gay or he like other men or anything like that. You just look at it like, he's a little, he just act more like a female. Cause in most cases, it's probably because he's around a lot of females, or I don't know, from a child, he just got influenced that way for some reason, or it could just be the way he was born, like the way how he was developed, from a child. So we have men out here that do have flamboyant behaviors. It doesn't mean that they're gay. It doesn't put them in a gay um, category. So I mean, he said it himself. He never was attracted to dudes, so it's nothing that So you do have people that born that way, or they I don't know. It could be they just develop it over time, just being around their mom all the time. So, but long as he understands that this is just a behavior, his mannerism is just a behavioral thing that he can't control. It doesn't generally change his biology attraction towards a woman. So I think that's a good. I ain't got nothing against that.
I ain't know that.
Mr. OJ is thinking that motherfucker, like I'm saying.
Nigga
Like,
charged up.
yeah. Yo, listen, would y'all date a man operating his feminine energy?
How high? Yeah,
Oh,
it gotta be
my.
like.
Like
what?
him, ultra.
No, it's impossible.
What's your cutoff?
Ultra.
Uzi.
The cutoff for me is, I don't know. I'm very traditional.
That's actually a good point that she raised his name up, Uzi, because yes, he does operate in his feminine, but he's also a provider. So I feel like I could date like a feminine, ultra feminine guy as long as he's
Got the
able
bag.
to provide. Yeah, because in my experience, yeah, in my experience,
This is the part that confused me about this question when it comes to women and talking about men being feminine and all that good stuff. If I, they have lesbianism, right? They have butch, they have lesbianism. When it comes to if you could be in a relationship with a dude, that's with a woman. Sorry, you could be in a relationship with a woman or butch, which means the female trying to act like a dude, but she's still a girl because she's still gonna have girl attributes, girl behavior, stuff like that. But if you meet a guy that's flamboyant and he's in his feminine energy, as they so-called claim, you got a problem with that. Like that's that doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Like if you find a guy that's feminine, like if you're a lesbian and you find a guy that's feminine, that should equalize the same as a lesbian. He just got a penis. That's the difference. That would be a bonus actually. That some things that make you. That's it's confusing. The next thing is women said they want a guy with some feminine energy, feminine this, feminine that. But then when they do meet the guy, it depends on how much, it depends on this, it depends on that. Like she was saying, if the guy is from feminine to a degree and he makes a lot of money, she probably would accept that. No, I classify that as like a lesbianism type of relationship because if he's feminine and he makes more money than you, it doesn't change the difference if she's a female and she makes more money than you. He just got a penis. Now, does it look attractive to see a guy act feminine? I don't know. I'm a dude, I'm saying? I can't really say, but for the woman. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's confusing. I don't think women should pick and choose, especially when they're asking men to be more sensitive, more feminine, and all that stuff. But yeah, when they do find a guy that's feminine, he can't. It's a turn off. It doesn't make sense.
I've done the opposite, which is date somebody that is feminine but then can't provide. So that's worse.
Does he being feminine help your submissiveness and your femininity? Does it not clash? Like, because it's meant to be masculine, feminine. So if it's feminine,
So what was he doing that was feminine?
yeah, like
I think what it was mostly like our roles in the household like switched. So like I was like basically the provider and like took care of the like bills and stuff, and he like cooked and cleaned. So
So
he was
he was a house boyfriend. He was a house boyfriend.
So why do women equate a man that's willing to help in a certain way as less of a man? But when if we're working and paying all the bills and we question you guys to cook and clean, we don't look at you guys any less.
That's a very good question. So like, my 2 points is this. In today's time, this is a new era now. The whole feminine equality and all that good stuff. Women is going to make money like men make money. It's not a high ratio, but it's a number of women out there now that makes a lot of money. 9 out of 10 times, I would say 7 out of 10 times a woman will run into a guy that either makes make equal to what she makes or less. 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. The reason why I give it a 7 out of 10 is because there's more women out here pushing for, like, we got a lot of nurses, you know what I'm saying? So, and then we got a lot of women that being like corporate jobs, and corporate jobs tend to pay a little bit more higher than, as they call it, blue collar jobs, right? So steadily. So it's just okay. So let me put it like this: the acts. It's a given that equality means that it's gonna be an equal platform, meaning that both the genders, male female, gonna make the same amount of money. Uh, there's also they're gonna also be the other genders, right? The odd balancing, right? Like you're gonna be the guy making more money at some point. You're gonna be the girl making more money at some point. You're gonna be a vice versa situation. It's never gonna really, you might have that small number where they make the same amount, okay, boom. But most cases, somebody gonna make more. Somebody gonna make significantly more. Somebody gonna make significantly less. Somebody gonna make, yeah, I might be in the same range or a little bit less, a little bit more. But the goal is gonna kind of be that way, in a sense. Now, the mentality of the female is that they've been brainwashed and nurtured into thinking that men have to be the only breadwinners. So even though they make money, they don't want to put their money. No, and that goes in a family perspective. If you have a family and the man is working his ass off to maintain his family, which is nothing to him, right? It's natural. And the woman now is doing. Is it natural for the woman to do the same thing? She should also have the natural capacity to say, "I'm doing this for my family." Why things have to change, right? Why does it have to change, right? So I don't see, for me personally, I don't see the difference and the big deal why women feel like because they make more money, the man is less, you know? And that goes in with the whole feminine, let's use the word feminine behavior. Sometimes men might, the fact that she makes more money, she don't have time to do a lot of the things that, or she might not be in the mood to, and say the guy don't have a job as well, right? Because he could have a job, he just make less money. Or he could say, let's say he don't have a job and he chooses to be a housewife. Women shouldn't have a problem with that either, because that's the same thing. Equality means that y'all don't have to do the same thing, go through the same experiences that men have to deal with. That's what that means. So when he asked the question, why do women have a problem with it, versus when a guy don't have a problem with the fact that a woman don't have any money, or he don't really care about her money, or she, as he said, he don't we don't complain about their roles, about what they gotta do, versus them making more money than we do, but yet they're complaining about the roles that we do. But then we don't complain about we make the most money, but we don't say, you don't do this, you don't. No, we would just say, well, this is what you're supposed to do. This is part of it. So if the man doing it, well, what's the problem? It shouldn't be a problem. So to me, it's just a sense of saying women they're spoiled, you know, and they see life one way, and they don't open their eyes to realize that in human nature, things can be in multiple ways. Like I said, my motto is man, woman, and child. That's the nature standard for human being. That's the nature structural standard for human, survival development, right? We need to be in groups. We need to build families, right? The family structure have an order. Then you have the groups, society, community, tribe, whatever. But within that, they have man, woman, or it could be man and multiple women. Man is over the woman is over the children, the man is over everybody. The man tend to have the structural order and design to how things is. Now the question is, can the woman come with a fortune? Could she come with good assets and everything? Yes. Could she be a boss lady? Yeah, I mean, yeah. But the thing is, can she be a boss lady and balance herself out, or still being, respectful and submitted to her man? I mean, I've seen it happen. Some women might have to regulate this stuff and learn how to do it, but I think it could be done. Or some men might a little, some men just strong enough to handle a boss chick too. So it depends. But overall, women seem to have this mentality like it have to be the way they know it. No, the way you know it is not it. This way you. That's just the way you learned it. That's why you're nurtured into it. Naturally, the natural way, it doesn't matter. It's multiple too. Every household have a different structure. The things that don't change is man, woman, and children. Right? Man, women, and children. That don't change. What do change is under that roof, you can have different layouts under that Pacific roof, but the idea, nature of it doesn't change, or it shouldn't be changed. Because once it changes, you're now going off the grid. You're now disrupting in the order of nature of how it's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to function. And then if you look at the nature, if you look at the way we're living today, we disrupted that nature, man, woman, and children. Man over the women over the children. The man set order and structure. The woman fought, the woman guide and follow, or she manages those orders and structures, right, amongst the children, and then we move forward. But the woman should always have the understanding that, there can be, in every household, there can be some kind of versatile change, to how they live. But the standards still remain. So that's a good question, but let's see what they say.
I don't know, but that's just
The way I view feminine for a man is like obviously clothing, nails, mannerisms.
Mannerisms.
Yeah, I
Like
definitely don't want a girl that doesn't have money though.
Who don't want a girl
and
that?
how well you
why do women
manage
keep
your
saying that?
emotions
Like-
too.
Because I've heard that a lot though. Like, y'all don't like
I don't want a girl
broke
that
women.
wants all my money.
right.
So I don't care if she has money. She just can't be asking me for all my money.
Okay.
So I
That's
think
fair.
that's
You
the
made it
difference
clear.
where y'all got to understand from a man's.
I think it's just men don't want like a liability. Like if
Yeah.
I'm on a
Okay.
mission to
Right.
build generational wealth, and you
Okay.
pulling me back because you're a bum, then I gotta drop you. That's dead weight. At that point, it's not even about the money. It's like, what else can you provide a man?
Yes, generally men don't. No, a woman making money it's a bonus to the family. Most cases, it'll probably be something that she could use to help do with her dealing with her necessities, like things for her. Help her with buying things for the house and stuff like that. So the man don't really have to put that money out. That's so a little bit he could use his money to deal with more, serious things or finer things, right? So, men don't really push for like especially if we have it. Like we don't really look at a woman and be like, oh my God, you like you got six figures? Oh, that's so nice. Nah, he gonna look at you and be like, what that booty do? You know what I'm saying? He don't care about your money. He care about what you look like, what you feel like, what you smell like. To make you laugh, smile. Be submissive to him. He having access to your body. You know what I'm saying? That's what men care about. But for the ones that, if she's making a little, I mean, the money is a bonus because then you can use the money to do different things, right? But men don't look at money as the all. I don't know why women look at money as like it's the main subject to life. It's not. Because men know in the real world, most men, money is the tool we use to survive in this world, whether you have a family or not. But in the man's world, we look at money generally as a tool. It's just This is an object we use to survive. It's nothing important about it other than the fact that you need a lot of it to do the things that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's generally how that's all that is. But we don't care about women's money. Like I said, it's a help, it's a bonus, especially if the man is not making a lot of money. So it'd be nice for her to bring in some kind of income, whether it's more or less, right? So it's a benefit, so the burden don't be on him. And here's the thing: if a woman, all women should work. I don't care if she's rich or not. I mean, she have a rich husband or not a rich man, whatever. All women should have some kind of income, some kind of independency of income, right? The women who put themselves, as if like this Soviet, like you gotta take care of me type stuff, those women are completely brainwashed. They're going based on the king and queen status, but to have a king and queen status, you gotta be it, and a lot of them are not it. So you can, like I said, a woman could have more money. She could have more money, but men generally don't care about it. As a matter of fact, we don't really, you know, we don't really. It doesn't just doesn't bother. Matter of fact, we look at it as a bonus for you to do the things you want to do. But what I wanted to add to that too is like, why can't a man be comfortable the way he was, how he desired things, how he look in life when it comes to date, being with another woman or whatever, or, you know, we get like something is wrong with him, or, what I'm saying? Like, women supposed to naturally want to bond with other women. They're supposed to naturally, you know, want to be with the man and admire and desire that man to 100%. But for some reason, that's not the case anymore. They just, yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
You know what I mean? Like, outside of money, like, men don't really care about money like that. You know what I'm saying? Because your money is your money for the most part. Like, we're not asking for your money. Like, you know what I mean? So, what else can you provide a man? That's what men want to know. Like, okay, if you're not making money, are you at least, doing what you got to do at home? Are you giving me that peace that I need when I come home, when I see you? Are you making my day a little easier when I come? Like, you know what I mean? We look at things like that. So let me ask you, would you date a man operating as feminine energy?
It depends on like how it is, like, cause I like a man who's like real gangster and stuff. So like, I don't know. It just depends on.
You mean gangster or masculine?
Masculine, like gangster, both. Like
both,
yeah.
Okay.
There's something about a man on his way to jail.
No, God.
Something about it, but then like you can't be in jail. I don't want you in jail though.
I just want to
like you can be halfway there, but don't go all the way in there because I want you.
What the fuck is halfway there?
I think it's more about.
And Umar be saying like, "Do you listen, man? Go ahead."
I need like somebody who can protect me at the same time. I don't need no guy who's like scared.
Why you gotta be gangster? Why do you feel like a gangster is the man that's going to protect them over?
All right, it don't have to be a gangster to protect me, but still like have that manhood to be able to protect me against other men. You
can find that outside of gangsters.
Oh yeah.
I know how to do that here.
But this part, that's typical, Bad Boys are attractive. It's entertainment. It's fun. It's, some women say it's not a long term. It's a short term until they hit the 30s, and then they want to do long term. But in the early stages, they're spontaneous. They're fun. They do spontaneous things. There's always some kind of entertainment, some kind of drama or some shit popping off where she's entertained. It's kind of also said that women, that's one of the reasons why they say women are dramatic creatures. They get turned on by dramatic behavior. They're like toxic by nature, basically. So, things like that just interest them 100%. So, Uh, yeah, it is what it is. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Don't complain when he treats you like shit, though. That's the thing. That's the other part. You're going bad boys, but you complain about it afterwards. That's not right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my woman against anybody. Like, I'm not gangster. I'm not gangster in the least. If I'm by myself, I'm staying away from the gangsters. Know what I mean? But popping up on my girl, like, I'm not gonna stand there and let nothing happen to her.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I want. Yeah, somebody who protect me, you know? Yeah.
Is you busting your gun or not?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
If I got to, I got to.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want.
But I actually have a question too for the guys.
Mhm.
So I want to know, like, what would y'all consider like a feminine trait in a man?
Definitely not cooking and cleaning.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a skill
That's the
that,
basic
Yeah.
human necessity.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like she said, like the mannerisms, you know what I mean, how they talk, I mean, how they
Postures.
yeah,
I think
stuff like that.
situation
I think I
hit.
got enough of it. Basically, all the dudes don't pretty much answer the same way. So it's we don't really need to. I'm going by what they say. Men generally, co-sign with each other. In this, when it comes to, especially dealing with, LGBTs and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think, I mean, the one girl, the one on the side, I think that's the left side, I guess. She, hmm, she might be she ain't the one that's kneeling down. They might be the one taking the chance, because they didn't really give much pushback on it. That's how I feel about that. So, but on the same time, on the same token, that women don't like feminine dudes, man. They say they do, but they really don't. They say they do. They like they're not really. They already admitted they're like bad boys, so I can't even. Shit. We just get the leftovers. All right, man. For the next one, we're gonna like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until my next video, I'm gonna be working on something really sweet, man. Working on some things I'm trying to do. So, I see you guys. Hope you guys like the show. This one I'm a little bit tired. To be honest, you might seem a little tired in the video a little bit. But this wasn't too bad of a show. Like most of the women are nurtured, like I said. They don't understand life, they don't care. Most of them don't really, some of them don't care. I mean, I said most. But I think most of them don't have nurturistic behaviors, and they don't know the truth. They don't understand the truth, and they don't want to know the truth. They're being stubborn. Because knowing the truth and truth mean that you have to adapt and change some things that you do, and the things that they're going to have to adapt and change is the things that they benefited from. So they're going to want to change those things. And secondly, they're going to want to hold accountability that there's something wrong with us. We have to fix it. It's not the man's fault. Because men, we generally on the same page. If a group of men come together with different point of views, I can guarantee most of them is going to come to an understanding equally. And then they might change it later on, But with that said, like, subscribe, and, let me know your comments, you know what I mean? And till the next video, peace.